Most of Edinburgh has been wonderful. It is just the occasional.
But it's also interesting because Edinburgh is such a large festival. Edinburgh Festival is probably one of the most major festivals in Europe, if not the world, and it attracts so many people from so many different parts of the UK, parts of Europe, parts of the world. I was talking to Americans the other day, and some of their reactions and some of the things they were saying were shocking. To me, they were absolutely shocking, and I was dressed obviously as a British person, and I was just gobsmacked with what some people were saying.
What was that one thing that you said they said?
Well, they turn around and they turn. This isn't saying all Americans think like this, but they turn around and they were like, "Why are all Muslims trying to kill us? Why are all Muslims trying to kill us?" And it's an ignorance in a sense to turn around and say that, and it's a lack of knowledge to turn around and say that all Muslims are the same. You know, because everyone is different and everyone has their own way of thinking, their own lives and their own mind at the end of the day. And I think it is ignorance to turn around and tarnish a whole group of people under one statement.
Well, the whole ethos of the play actually seems to be about challenging the stereotypes and creating a platform for debate surrounding the issues that is raised by the production. Would you say that's been successful so far during your visit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even in our marketing, it's hard to even give out a flyer without somebody staying for 5 minutes. I mean, I imagine
10 minutes
watching you. Yeah, some of you are in conversation for 10, 15 minutes with one person, just because literally just even looking at the flyer raises a huge, amount of questions.
People just like to talk about it because they don't get a chance to.
And even saying that, I mean, we don't stand there. I mean, in Edinburgh, you do see a lot of the time people doing different things to try and attract attention, like to try and they're shouting, they're passing it to everyone. We don't have to do that because we've got people actually coming up to us going, "What's that about? What's that about?" But generally, to me and Jen, who are playing the British characters, they're coming up to us, who they feel safe with, and they're asking me, "What's going on? What are they doing?" Because obviously it looks strange that I'm stood with these the girls dressed as the Muslims. It obviously looks quite strange to them in a sense, because at one point it does look like it's a protest, and then you see the fact that it's a play, and I think that's why they approach Jen and I also, because they feel safe.
That's been really difficult, and it's been a discussion we've had quite a lot in the company, that if we put on, and it would be different with any other show, but if we put on our Muslim costumes, then it suddenly becomes a protest. We could all put on bishop robes and no one would think it was a protest, but because we put on Muslim clothes, it's immediately on the edge of being a protest the whole time, and that's a bit strange.
Yeah, I've got a placard that has a poster of denied on one side, and on the other side it says, "Who is in control?" ? Basically trying to provoke, ask questions, initiate debate, and I had people walking past me and shouting, "Definitely your lot aren't in control," and things like that. It's just
it's amazing to see the reactions and the responses and the way people do react to you. It really is interesting.
And I think even though it is a taboo subject for people to talk about, I think a lot of people have strong opinions on it, and when they're asked, they're willing to give them, and very hard to back down from whatever their opinion is on it.
The venue is C Cubed in Brodie's Close.
8:15
every night. It's quite an intimate little venue, which you seem to have made use of every square inch, and the use of digital projection, I thought, really added to the play. Has the intimacy of the venue, has that been a help or a hindrance?
Initially when I wrote it for a huge stage. I was thinking of
Chorus of 400 and stuff like that.
We did a read-through at the Theatre Hall Haymarket, and obviously it was very different. It's a stage read-through. But it has been really nice actually to bring that intimacy, because it makes the characters in the two worlds seem quite close and connected in some way, which on a large stage where you probably separate the two areas and have a different set and a big construction for each thing, it might actually make it a little bit more that's them and that's us, whereas the intimate space actually really helps for it to.
And I honestly think that being in a smaller space makes the audience connect a lot more to it. I personally feel that they are so engaged in it because they're so close to it. They're so close to what's going on stage, and they feel
heightens the experience
And
altogether.
acting in it as well, you can feel people's uncomfortableness, you can feel their reaction, you feel their gosh, you can like really feel their hearts beating almost because you're so close to
I
them.
said today
It's really
during the show that you could hear at one point in the show the audience moving uncomfortably.
when Jodie was getting beaten up.
Something like that.
When I was probably strangled.
When you've been killed as well.
And I think it really does help because in a smaller space it means that you can also come out and have discussions afterwards as well. I think in a bigger space, especially because we're just starting, this is the first time we're putting this play on really. I think it's interesting because you are able to come out and have a conversation with the people that you've just been with in the space. If you were in somewhere with 400 seats, there's no way you could have conversations like we had with that gentleman over there straight away afterwards. Do you know what I mean? And I think it has got that intimacy, which is lovely.
I think it's important.
Also, certainly from the audience's perspective, it made the production was already gripping and dynamic, but in such a small space, it really seemed to come across like it was like the issues themselves, very much in your face, which I think was a perfect setting for it. Give your name again and tell us where you are.
It's the Humble Theatre Company, and the show is called Tonight, and we're on at C Cubed at 8:15 every evening.
Thank you very much then.
Thank you.
Thank you.